Mitchell City Council to order. This public meeting of the Mitchell City Council is being live streamed. The meeting is also being recorded and will be archived on the city's YouTube channel and a link added to the website. This recording is being made in compliance with Indiana's open door law. The recording, along with any agenda and minutes, will be made available for public inspection under the Indiana Access to Public Records Act. The recording will be retained for a minimum of 90 days. This recording is not the official minutes of the meeting, and those in attendance do consent to being recorded. The city YouTube channel is City of Mitchell IN.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
We can start now.
That's what we needed, some words of wisdom. All right, all the council is here for the present. You all have a copy of last month's minutes. Take a minute or two to look those over, see if there needs to be any additions or corrections. If you see none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written here.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Okay, under old business, the OOR bid opening. The grant the city received last year for home repairs for owner-occupied residents is almost completed, resulting in 18 homes benefiting with various types of repairs. And after that work was completed on the 18 homes, there was some money remaining to do one additional resident. Jenny Deerwester from SIDC is here to open bids for the 19th property and explain what actions the council needs to take to finalize this project.
How is everyone this evening?
Very good.
Good. So as he said, 18 homes, just darn near complete. This is just a bid sheet if you wanna write it down. I'm just gonna let you pass on down. So, we have 16 of the 18 houses completed, and two of the 18 that remain are partially completed, and I believe the roofs are the only thing that remains on those two. So I anticipate they'll get them wrapped up now the weather's starting to turn and be well again. And so we are accepting bids on this 18th house, and it looks like it is from Katie Mendenhall Carpentry. I will open first. And we have his application, signed page, bid sheet, and the specs and the non-collusion. The bid is $39,780. Second bid is All American General Contracting, $86,472. And they too have turned everything in. I did notice on, I think it was Katie Mendenhall, the non-collusion affidavit might not be notarized. Let me see, check again. Yeah, he signed it, but it's not notarized, so I can have him get it notarized by a certain time tomorrow if that's so desire to do on that one.
Of course, those bids are for the same project.
Same project, it is, this house is, electrical, doing some upgrades on the electrical system, roofing, HVAC for both furnace and air, and a water heater.
Okay,
And, sorry, so, if you want, I can give him till tomorrow at 4:30 to turn in a notarized non-collusion affidavit. We have 25,000 available for this house. So we will have to do a little deleting on that, and stuff, but I'll talk with the homeowner.
Figure out which.
Yep, what she wants to have done.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And then take them under advisement, and then I think we're already online to, award then Thursday night at your board
At the
public
board.
works.
So do we need to run that through a motion here now?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's pretty clear cut which one we need to go with. Someone wanted to make a motion that we accept the Mendenhall bid at $39,000.
Well, you wanna just accept both of them, because what I'll do is the homeowner will decide which items she would like done, and then I'll compare the prices for each of those items, cause even though one may be low for the whole thing, they may not be,
And the max thing go out to
Yeah, they'll
25.
pick and
Yes.
choose.
Max.
Gotta get the scope of work and non-inclusion affidavit straight
Yep.
down first,
Okay.
or you
I'll make a motion that we accept the bids for both the 86,000 to the 39,000 for the, building, or what we're doing there, contractors' applications.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
and I'll have all this ready for Thursday then.
Okay, we'll do it again.
We'll do it again, 3:00.
3:00.
All right,
Yes.
I'll see you all Thursday.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks.
Drive careful.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to new business. The city will be conducting a spring clean sweep, April 20th to April 29th, or 27th. During this time, residents should call the water department to be placed on the pickup list. Items that will be picked up include furniture, household junk, light construction debris, not from contractors, only from homeowners. A maximum of 4 automobile tires, no tractor or semi-tires. In addition, this year, large appliances such as refrigerators, stoves, washers, dryers, window air conditioners will also be able to be picked up. In the past, we could not do that, but Lawrence County Solid Waste has found someone who will take, like with a refrigerator, something that's got a compressor, so they found a source to get rid of those. We haven't been able to pick any of that up in the past, but this time we can. So I would encourage all citizens to take advantage of this opportunity to clean up their property and our city. Any questions regarding that?
I know this, the appliances was for the clean sweep. Will this, will they take appliances that we pick up later on in the city?
They will, but obviously
Charge on that.
there'll be a charge. The advantage of the clean sweep is we are not being billed during that period. We're hauling it over there and they're not charging us. If any other time of the year we haul stuff over, we have to pay a dump fee.
Pay dump fee, okay.
So now is an excellent time to do it. I mean, it doesn't cost us anything except time and the fuel to get it over there.
Is that a list on the website of what they'll take?
Yes.
And our truck is gonna come along and pick it up, right?
Yeah, our truck will do the pickup and deliver it.
They do
Okay,
have to call in, right?
yes, it's best to call in. That way we don't make a mistake that somebody put a refrigerator out there for John Doe and we picked it up and hauled it off. So we wanna be sure that, they've called in first. Okay, next is first reading on CCD and public hearing. I've got a couple items that have to be read into the record. The city of Mitchell is establishing a cumulative, well, that's a hard word for me, capital development fund effective 2027 to help cover capital expenses. The city's tax rate is projected to go down next year over 8 cents in 2027. The CCD rate is 5 cents and will help balance out the tax rate while producing for the capital fund approximately $70,000. The growth in assessed valuation along with the debt falling off allows an opportunity to establish a CCD rate and not have a tax increase to the citizens. And I will read the announcement that has been published twice in the newspaper. Notice to taxpayers of hearing on proposed cumulative capital development fund. Notice is hereby given to the taxpayers of the city of Mitchell, Lawrence County, Indiana, that the Mitchell City Council will consider at 407 South 6th Street, Mitchell, Indiana, 47446, at 7 p.m. on April 6th, 2026, the establishment of a cumulative capital development fund under the provisions of Indiana Code 36-9-15.5 for the following purposes. All uses set out in Indiana Code 36-9-15.5. The tax will be levied on all taxable real and personal property within the taxing district and will not exceed 5 cents per $100 assessed valuation. The proposed fund will be levied beginning with the taxes due and payable in the year 2027. Taxpayers appearing at such hearing shall have the right to be heard thereon. The proposed tax rate for the cumulative capital development fund is subject to certification by the Department of Local Government Finance. Within 30 days after the date of the adoption of the fund by the Mitchell City Council, the City of Mitchell will publish a notice of adoption. Upon publication of the notice of adoption, 25 or more taxpayers in the taxing district may file a petition with the county auditor not later than 30 days after the publication of the notice of adoption, setting forth their objections to the proposed fund. This announcement was put in the only newspaper in the area on March 23rd and 31st of 2026. So since this is a public hearing, it is open for discussion at this time, but only regarding the formation of this capital development fund. So if there's anyone that would like to ask a question or make a comment, now is your opportunity.
Can there be more than one capital development fund?
As far as I know, probably just one. I'm not an expert on that. The financial advisors were the ones that suggested this so that we would not lose our entire funding, the entire 8 cents, because as you know, all expenses are going up. When you look at gas and wages and utilities, and the first thing that usually happens is you pay your operating expenses and you let your equipment go until it just breaks down to the point where you have to replace it. And that's the point of the capital fund, is that money would be restricted only to capital expenses such as vehicles and like a new roof on the city hall, can't be used for wages, can't be used for utilities, can't be used for health insurance, just for capital items. So that's the point of trying to establish it. And at the same time, we didn't want to establish or ask for anything that would create a tax increase, because all of your expenses are going up too. So we don't want to raise your taxes. Your taxes will still go down a small amount, but we are trying to capture a little bit of that loss, because the city, as one person at the state level said, Well, what you're gonna have to do is learn to prioritize, and you're gonna have to do more with less. Which means you have to look at your services and decide, what can we cut? What can we do without? And we'll try to delay that as long as we can. Any other thoughts or questions? All right, then I will move on to just a quick business update. Casey's General Store has finalized the purchase of the property across Highway 37 facing Wendy's. Their start date for construction is late April to early May. First thing that we would notice is the house on that corner will be torn down. They have all their permits done. They have made their connection with our water and sewer department. All the lines have been laid out where they will be. Duke Energy has also come in and laid out all their blueprints as to how they'll provide electrical service. Secondly, Bloom Health and Wellness is opening and accepting appointments. They're located in the old post office building across, just down from the library. Nurse practitioner Stephanie Fry wants to host a grand opening in early May. Earlier, or actually last week, I toured her facility. It's pretty unbelievable. She's really put a lot of effort and expense in making a very nice, small clinic. Also, Jordan and Erica Slaughter have opened a restaurant called Dippy's at 1503 Wilkins Way. They specialize in smash burgers and ice cream. Nikki Luttrell has opened a brick and mortar location of her business, Bubble Tea, to complement her mobile unit that is well known in this area. The location of the Bubble Tea store is 607 Teet Burton Drive. So I would encourage you all to visit these new businesses and give them your support. Any comments or
Says
questions?
Nikki Luttrell.
Nikki Luttrell. Which she's been doing her bubble tea at like the festival and other events for several years, but she decided she wanted to try to also have a brick and mortar location.
She, when we was out there at the ribbon cutting, she mentioned that, they was gonna have maybe some movies on the side of the building, some karaoke, and what was something else they was talking about, but 2 or 3 things for activities for the town folk to come to and support.
She has a lot of ideas for some activities like that during the summer months.
I can say, I visited Dippy's and they do have a good hamburger. It's very good. And I think the meal was like $10.95, and that includes your french fries and a drink. So,
That's pretty reasonable on today's
very
market.
reasonable, yeah. And that was very good, and they cook it right there in front of you. So it's fresh.
Yeah. Nice. They're putting out a good product. Any other comments before we move on?
You back up on that, public hearing, we'll have another one on May the 4th, is that correct?
At the next, city council meeting, there'll be a second reading. And at that time, that there would be an adoption, if the council adopted it. And then the public would still have 30 days after we publish the adoption to, like I said, with 25 signatures or more, they can oppose it, and then it goes to the state level, and they look at the reason for opposition versus our need for the project, and they make the final decision.
Thank you.
All right. We can move to the public comments at this time. First up is Eddie McLean. He had called me today to ask to be on the agenda. Wasn't able to do that because the agenda has to be posted publicly on the City Hall door 72 hours before our council meeting. So, I'm letting him use the public comments, and he has assured me that he can get his comments done in 15 minutes. So, we'll hear what Eddie has to say.
Greetings, everyone. I wish I was in a more favorable audience, but I'll take what I can get.
Get what you get.
I get what I get, I get what I get, I'll take it. Because I got good news. I'm glad to hear about the community, development program. I'm very, happy about that. And I have ways to improve it. So what I have here, I have a vision. I have a simple idea with a long-term vision for Mitchell. It's not a request for approval. It's not asking for any money. I'm just asking to explore an opportunity. And it's over the public street of Mitchell. And I think you guys are impressed with this, especially the way I can get the money, the way to look, and the money it'll bring in. Oh, sorry. Everybody got one? Thank you. Give one extra. Okay, so a couple years ago, I said, I want to run, Donna, I went up there and told Donna, I'd like to run for mayor. And one thing I'd like to do is put a platform over top of Mitchell, over the Main Street. I said, I have a vision to do that, and it'll take me about 4 years to do it. He said, that's pretty progressive. So you can't just do that in one step. So if you look at phase 2, you put the 4 step in the girding. But look what this idea does. Here on page 2, phase 2. If you see that upper railing on the 2nd Street, above the sidewalk, see if you was to put that walkway right there on that above Main Street, you can access them upstairs rooms right there. And those rooms could be rooms for bed and breakfast and doctor's offices rooms and massage therapist rooms and barber shops, and all kinds of stuff inside those rooms that's not used now. Okay, so you go up above it. See, first you've got to build a frame, and then the next you build a platform. See, this is as years go by, you solicit the funds, and then first you put the roof on. So you can always use it after the first year with just the roof. You know, being just have a roof above the street is helpful to the city. Then you put the floor up there. Then you can start renting the floor space out, and then you get the money for the rest of the museum. So the concept is as a freestanding building. It does not rest on the other buildings. And then what that does, if you run that down, all the buildings in town have different shaped roofs. But if you put that front up, all the way down the side, above the poppet level right there, then you can actually create your facade in the front, and you can put your walls in like bread in a toaster, and it just slides right in like simple. Your walls don't have to be the concrete walls, the brick walls anymore. So you just build this whole steel building over the town, and the brick walls can go, except for the front. So down below would be 1830, 1855, 1870, whatever. It would still look like old downtown, and you would fix it up like old downtown. But when you go upstairs, then you have a futuristic museum, and I have called this the evil. I didn't say that. I didn't say that out loud. Eva Curl Museum. But look at this. This is more than a museum. This is a statement. This is a timepiece. This is a piece that is unheard of, and it's adaptable. So where the, over Lonnie's now, where there's no building, you close that in, that's your theater. You got a whole new floor there that you don't even have now. Okay, so the revenue, I got it all broke down, where it comes in, tourist impact, people coming in to see this thing. It ties your building together, it opens up your downtown, it brings in, check this out. To have somebody name that building, you can get $10 million just for naming it. And if that don't go in your bucket and fill your bucket up pretty quick, and then you start doing these things and then you start building this and adding on to as a community development project. Your community development chairman, your counterpart, your vice president would be the most key person in this whole town as to get this going. And you're bringing in millions of dollars. And this will pay for itself. Oh, well, I'm not gonna say, I'm not asking for any money, but it will generate money, and I have it all broke down. It's in the, see, I got the articles of the incorporation here. I incorporated the, grant applications. I have the, naming rights. So you get a good, a promotional person, you go out there and you get this money. And so you might get this whole thing paid for free. Somebody just might adopt the whole program. But the money's out there and available. And then, the direct revenue, emissions, 80,000 to 300,000 a year, events, 50,000 to 200,000, events, cafes, 50 to 150, tours and sponsorships, and then the total revenue, 800,000. Operating cost is, less than half of that. And you got your visitor spending, you got your visitors coming in town, you'll have people coming in from all over the place, just looking at this building. This will be the cruise spot from now on from everybody. Because this will be, wow, look at this. And the Lehigh has the only, easement through Main Street, but it does not cover 18 foot. And now we have, the boulevard out here, which no longer would need that easement. That's the only easement I know of on Main Street. But it's not 18 foot high. It's the width, it's what they're working at. But just imagine, when you guys leave here, you all go downtown, you'll see this picture. And this building shining bright on top of Mitchell, you see it from Bedford. You see it from Miles. It'll be a beacon to bring people home. Anyway, I'm just here to present this and ask for permission to proceed. Not for approval, just proceed. And to try to form a committee to study this further.
Well, it's obvious you have put a lot of thought into this.
Well, why I thought about it, I made some amazing discoveries over at Bedford with the geos and meters and things, and I had to create equipment. I made my own equipment, and I said, "Where's the money in this?" So I started looking at the value of my equipment, and if I was to classify it as fine art, and have somebody come and look at it and praise my equipment as fine art, that's worth thousands. So if the city did the same thing, the Russell Julian's guitar, Keith Dillman's paddle, and you get various things together, these things are artifacts, these things are worth some money, and you get them appraised. And that's your start, where you start. And then you have things uptown where you have auctions, you have fundraisers, and people have fun doing it.
I'm sorry, but did you just say Keith Dillman's paddle?
Yeah, I did.
Some of us don't remember.
But you remember it.
Unfortunately.
You remember it. But see, those things are, they're priceless. And you get these things into a collection. and you already have your museum ready to go, and you already have your value. And then all you need is a little cash to go with it, and you can start your 501(c) and get this as a community development program where the community development can get the money immediately where the city cannot. And another thing is you can hire your own contractors.
You got a lot of weight here. Is it infrastructure downtown, you'll be able to sustain it?
Yeah, that's gonna be your engineering study. So what I would like to see on that is, it's gonna be a museum, right? So, in Bloomington, we have some, stone companies over there, and they have these cranes outside. A stone crane set up outside, that's their value. We have their equipment on loan. They're gonna pay to put it there. Okay, so we have all this structure down through there, and it will support weight.
Or you have to put some additional pillars or something.
Yeah, it'd be more than 2 pillars, that's just.
Well, I mean, down in the ground, you're gonna have.
Yeah, see, I don't know where the sewer is, if it runs under the sidewalk, if it runs on the edge of the street, I don't know exactly where it is, I mean, it's between the buildings. Let's see, that, there's gonna be an engineering study for that. And the pylons, see, when we built Cessna Welding's building out there, we had to dig 18 to 20 foot deep, 3 foot round, for some of those pillars out there. But that engineer told us how to do it.
How much interruption do you look at as far as current business?
There's not any.
No, there's businesses.
There is, but I think if we work around them and do it at night, maybe, and work around the crews, because what it is gonna be most of your basings, your pilings, and then after that, it's gonna be laying the steel out, and then it's gonna be hanging the steel, it's gonna be going pretty quick. And then have a mezzanine layer level for the things that goes in on the inside. But it's gonna be useful for, as soon as you get up there and put the roof on, and as far as keeping rain off the street, and then you put the floor in, and you start, man, that's gonna be a huge, huge floor up there. You know, have your, trucks up there.
If this doesn't work out, you're gonna have one heck of a nasty looking building there.
Yeah, but what's not to work out about it?
Well, you don't know.
What's not to work out about it? Once you have a plan, and you have this, you wouldn't wanna put a piece of steel up there unless you have the money to put the roof on, but that's just what it's gonna look like in the process. I wanted to give you an idea what it looked like naked and afraid and fully dressed.
Well, one of my concerns is if it doesn't work out, you're gonna have to dismantle this thing and get rid of it, or it's just gonna make it look terrible. And that's not gonna be cheap, and I don't imagine you'll find anybody that wants to pay to take it down.
You'll have them lined up from here to Mississippi, so you can give it to them for free.
Does the length of that span all 3 blocks or just 1 block?
It's only a half a block, it could be a quarter of a block, it don't have to be any width, it don't have to be in any position. It's just the concept of placing it.
I didn't see any side streets coming into it, that's
Yeah,
why I asked.
no, there's no side street coming into it, so that's my rendering, and it's the best I could get from what I had to work with. But that's actually, that width is not determined, that's gonna be determined by the money and square foot. So talking about square feet, if you put square feet back in this room, and if you had 200 square feet, and you divide that in half, now you got 400 pyramids. So they sell them pyramids 400 times $25 on a piece of paper that they just bought part of that building. And now you're gonna have a whole lot more of that. You can raise $500,000 easy. This is sell a piece of paper. Say you bought a little piece of this room. You did it in Dallas, 1980, sold that whole farm out like that. Yes, sir.
As the mayor said, you've put a lot of time and effort into this, and, a lot of information here to absorb pretty quick. I wouldn't mind myself having till the next meeting in May, possibly make a determination whether to give a blessing or not.
No, that's exactly, I'm not looking for anything tonight. I want you to take it home and look at it. I want you to cross that street a dozen times and think, what that look like in here? How many people would that bring? And when you come across from Bedford, you think that thing's lit up, and you'll be able to see that, just like you do Lehigh. Mitchell will be back on the map. There's nothing else, there's no other building that I could even think of building that would be as cheap as this and bring in as much as this. And there's no property to buy.
That would be my opinion right now. You guys
Yeah, I
got
agree.
things to
It's a lot.
think about.
There's a lot to digest
Comments?
there.
And I'm available anytime you wanna talk to me any more about it. I mean, you said I got to research it. This is not even part of it. This is part of it. This is part of it. We've only had 15 minutes.
All right, I think we can take it under advisement.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you guys.
We get to keep these.
Yes, they're all yours.
And covers.
And the covers. Autographs are extra. Oh, we'll get one stop. Stop 1 second. See, it's, even that George looks pretty good to me. But it'll all come together. Come together. We just, get by and see cities, wow, yeah, we gotta have that.
Or maybe you could take that to your house.
Jimmy?
That's building commission.
It is.
Sixth grade social studies teacher. She died in 2000.
Anybody else?
Jimmy, did you have a comment you wanted to make? One other name?
Oh, is that Jenny?
That's the one that was the one that went first.
Great. Okay. She done gone.
That's
Yeah.
what you get for being out here without your glasses. All right, anything else to come before the council?
Looking forward to good warm weather.
Well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
I've already made every other one, I'll go ahead and make that one too, I make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.